The Work-Life Balance Journey: How to Reinvent Yourself with Monthly Intentions. Slow and steady wins the race. I didn't give this moral, taken from one of Aesop's fables, The Tortoise and the Hare, much thought when I was a kid. Yeah, don't rush, I get it. But then, as adults, we don't really get it, do we? Instead, we all seem to run around with a high degree of headless chickenness. And yes, I did just invent that term. Oh look, am I reinventing myself already? Work becomes the biggest priority. For some, it dominates as the only real priority, which is even sadder. Now, I like work, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be that guy. Work is great in bursts. Humans thrive on the stuff, really. But that's the point, in bursts. The best work gets done by efficiently using our time, not in 10 to 12 hour daily slogs. Being in a work environment for 40 to 60 hours per week is very, very different from actually working for 40 to 60 hours per week. A study showed that the average worker is only productive for around 3 hours per day. Now, you could argue that some people don't have a choice how many hours they work. They get a minimum wage, or they have big families to support. I get it. Work-life balance becomes an easier or more difficult prospect depending on your circumstances. But if there's even a glimmer of opportunity to amend your circumstances in such a way that you can claw back some balance, then why not? Now, let me introduce you to our rat race friend, Whiskers. He's the metaphorical rat who is the chief in the societal rat race. He chases his own tail, he's always rushing, and there's a distinct sense of lack in his life. He needs the next big thing, and then the next thing, and the next thing. Work, rush, do this, do that. No wonder so many folks have midlife crises around the age of 40 or 50. Modern society is constructed in such a way that the rat race is encouraged. Consumerism and the keeping up with the Joneses effect isn't going anywhere fast. But a lot of people do seem to wake up to the futility of it all in midlife. They feel exhausted or unfulfilled. They feel like a slave to the system. So why should we follow the same route? Although we will always, to some extent, be powerless to societal systems that we exist in, we do have a secret weapon, our personal compass of control. Now, we can't say that we get to control every aspect of life. Nope, no way, Jose. But we can live intentionally. We can structure our weeks and months in such a way that work-life balance is at least encouraged. It's in the picture with a genuine aim. Then we have a chance, a shot at this mystical work-life balance thing. So that's why I've set myself a challenge. I'm going to document my journey month by month as I try to navigate life with more balance. I want to work, I want to learn, I want to play, and I want to rest. Maybe things will happen in life that seriously tests my ability to fulfill all four. If I've learned anything in my nearly 29 years, it's this. Life is unfair as hell and as unpredictable as the British weather. But I'm at least going to try. A life directed towards balance is better than one with no personal compass at all. So I've broken down my intentions into 15 priorities in 5 key areas. The 5 key areas are financial, mental, physical, social, and spiritual. And here are the 15 priorities that I'll be going for in August of 2020. Firstly, I want to build a business. I'll be doing this by sending 50 outreaches per week until I get a full caseload of freelance writing clients. And the outreach can be done via email and LinkedIn. My next financial intention is investing. I want to invest at least 15% of my monthly income into a stocks or bonds platform. And my third financial intention is related to writing. I want to write for 2 to 4 hours per day, 5 days per week. Now on to mental goals. We have memory training, but I want to try out both active recall and spaced repetition strategies to see if they help with improving knowledge retention. I also want to learn a language. I want to learn 5 new Greek words 6 days per week using flashcards. And also, I want to focus on reading 2 books per month at least, and summarizing the key points of valuable books on paper and then moving those summaries across to Notion. On to the physical intentions. We have macro tracking, where I want to track my daily macros with over 130 grams of protein, under 60 grams of fat, and at least 9 cups of veg and fruit. I'm allowed 1 cheat day per week, ideally on weekends. For strength training, I want to exercise with resistance bands for 20 to 60 minutes, 3 to 4 times per week. And I can listen to audiobooks or music during workouts. And then walking, I want to alternate between shorter power walks and longer, slower walks to gradually build endurance over time. On to the social intentions. We have experiments. Well, I want to create a weekly experiment for myself where I try to live a little bit differently to what I'm used to. And this is to encourage psychological flexibility. I also want to focus on date nights, where I can set up a virtual date night or date day. Doesn't really matter what time it is, as long as it's every week with my girlfriend, because we're long distance at the moment. So we can do activities such as movies or dinners, games or deep chats, whatever it may be. I want to focus on international connections and use the app called Slowly to write at least 2 letters per week to people living in other countries that I may want to visit someday. And then the spiritual intentions, we start with meditation. I want to spend 20 to 60 minutes per day in some form of meditation practice. This can be either sitting, standing, or walking. A gratitude practice. I want to get in the habit of expressing thanks for my meals. And I also want to think of 3 things that I'm grateful for before I go to sleep. And the last spiritual intention is time in nature. I know that this has a big impact on my mental health, and I want to get out in nature 6 days per week. This could be local parks, lakes, fields, woods, oceans, whatever. Really, 15 seems like a good number of intentions to aim for. Not too few, not too many. Variety is the spice of life, after all. I'll plan to give an update on how the 15 intentions are going each month, and if there are any unexpected events, and there always will be soon enough, let's face it, then I'll just have to reevaluate. I'll try to adapt. And then every quarter, I'll review the 15 areas to make sure that they still feel important enough to continue with and worthwhile. If there are some that aren't bringing me as much value as before, I'll just swap them for something else. So with all that being said and all of that being considered, do you care to join me on your own work-life balance challenge? If you do, then great. I would love if you would want to subscribe and follow the monthly updates so you can stay motivated on your own balance journey. Peace out, Declan.